What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 200 of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Profab Headers and Exhaust, and Earl Ramey Racing Engines. What's going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
What's up, man?
A whole lot racing. Racing and more racing.
Racing. We've made episode 200.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah. I haven't been on nearly as long as you, but it has been...
Now, you've been on there a minute now.
I think it's in about 118 or 120.
Is that where it was?
I don't...
Wow.
Maybe. I don't know. But it's been fun.
So.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Hard to believe it's been 200 already.
You done... Yeah, it's hard to believe. Since last time you've been on here, you done graduated.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate
Congratulations.
it. Yep.
Did you have fun walking across stage?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good deal.
Getting you a diploma.
Yep. Nice ceremony and all there. So, yeah, it was good. I don't know what to say.
ready for everything else after?
I guess, yeah.
So what's the plan? Going to where are you going?
Tech or civil engineering, yeah.
Civil engineering.
So I was signing up for classes today and got to go meet with the advisor tomorrow to pick out which classes you got to go to and stuff.
But that's fun. Fortunately, you already got some of them down.
Oh yeah, I don't have to take a whole lot, so shouldn't be too big of a deal.
You on the actual now, being that you already got some down, you on the 1 year or 2 year program?
I think it's still 2 years.
Still 2 years.
I guess I'll figure it out tomorrow when I talk to the guy. But
you.
I'm pretty sure it's still 2 year.
Cool deal. Well, congratulations. That's good.
Appreciate it.
Proud of you.
Been going on your way.
Man, it has been a busy doing a lot of stuff since we've been on last. I told you we was going to make it to your party, and I wanted to. Now, it just completely, the date slipped my mind. It was also my wife's birthday.
Yeah, had a lot going on.
So, I'm sorry we did not make it to your party. But it was her birthday, and then, so that Saturday, she wanted to go. We've been talking about the North Carolina Zoo. You ever been up there?
No.
It's huge. So she wanted to go to North Carolina.
Where's that at?
It is right up there, Tony Hancock's shop. We were just talking about right past it, up there towards Asheboro, North Carolina. So we went up there. We got there at like 9 o'clock. So we started walking at about 9:15. It was really cool because they put it all up there. Jackson, me, Kayla, and the boys went, Landon and Jackson. But for Jackson, it's really cool because, I mean, Kayla looks for a lot of stuff. I do too. She looks for way more than I do. They are a very sensory-friendly zoo. So they got all over the place. Stopped by the guest services, I guess it's called, and we never hear it record on this thing. So, but anyway, stop by the guest services and get a sensory bag. And the sensory bag had a bunch of cool stuff in it. I mean, just little fidget toys and headphones if it got too loud or stuff like that. So she was impressed by that. But we also... So you just get in there and you start walking, and I heard it was huge. I mean, that's all I'd really heard. Just it's huge. Well, there's two different parking lots you can park at. One's the North America side, one's the Africa side, they call it. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But they connect. The park connects regardless. So I was like, all right, we'll get in there and start walking. And you kind of walk on these trails, and everything kind of goes off on a loop. Where all the animals and the attractions and stuff are. So you kind of walk on this loop and you come back to the center trail. Walk on this loop, come back to the center trail. So you don't miss anything at all. But we started walking at about 9:15. And we walked until 1 o'clock or just after. And we never stepped on the same place twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
cool. It was, and I'm going to tell you what, my legs hurt for 3 days afterwards. So it was cool though. I mean, it was really cool, and they're building on more there.
Really?
So
I like zoo. You know, I've only been to the Columbiana one, but
yeah,
you know,
riverbank
cool.
up there.
Yeah,
And actually, I was actually, as far as attraction wise, do you know Riverbank Zoo is the 7th biggest zoo in North America?
Really?
Yeah, it's actually a really high.
So it's not too bad.
No, it's
You know,
not bad at
but,
all. So
Cool.
that's cool. So we did that Memorial Day. I went and tested race car. I went out to Dillon. Chad met us over there. Robin Winkler met us over there. Me and my dad rode over there, and I probably ran 60, 70 laps in the car and thought I was somewhat slow. I mean, first time back in the car. I mean, it didn't feel bad, but, just wasn't putting down times I thought we needed. Well, then it was funny because Chad called me Friday, or I called him, something. Either way, we talked to each other Friday, and he said, man, what they're turning out here today, you were only about 2/10 off of it. So I was like, well, ain't too bad considering, one, I was out there by myself. Two, been a year since I've been in a big car. So it wasn't too bad. So did that and come back and got it all back in shop, changed a few things on the car and got it ready for the weekend, all that fun stuff and all that craziness, work and phew, been wide open, that's for sure. So it's been a hectic couple weeks. So, and now, well, we'll get into it in a little while, but then snatched your rear end back out the car now. So more work to do,
Yep.
So how was your Memorial Day and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, it was good. We didn't do a whole lot, but it was nice, relaxing, I guess. And it's just a ordinary week.
Did you go to the beach?
Yeah, that was week before though.
Was that the week?
Yeah,
before?
we had a nice, really big beach house there.
Cool.
Me and some of my friends, we had a good time there.
Cool. What a beach?
Ocean Isle.
Ocean Isle?
Up in North Carolina. It was good.
Nice.
It really wasn't crowded
Quiet.
at all.
Yeah.
And,
Not a lot of craziness up there.
No, the weather was
definitely
great.
different than Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah. I like the beach. I'm not one. I'm after about 3 days, I've kind of had my feel of it. But that was nice though, because it wasn't like touristy that bad, know. So, but yeah, that was good.
Good deal. Oh, cool. Well, I guess we can get into it. We let's go back a little bit. But go back to last weekend. You ran over at Florence Motor Speedway. Not in your normal ride.
And your old ride.
My old ride. It's the number 5 car now. Our buddy Matt Grantham owns it now, and wanted Connor to shake it down for him.
Yeah, we had a good time. Like you said, shaking it down, getting to learn the car a little bit, and it was pretty good. We did you get a top 5 out of it? I don't even remember.
Yeah, you finished 5th.
Okay, it was
Fifth.
It was a pretty solid run. I could see the leaders weren't far from me. We were hanging on some pretty fast cars there, and
I thought you was gonna get 4th there one time on one restart.
He kind of chopped me off, but he was faster, so I didn't fight it too hard. But we had a pretty solid run, pretty quiet race for legend cars. So I was happy with that.
That's
and
nice. Some days,
yeah,
that's all you can ask for.
oh, yeah. Especially trying to learn a car and all. But it was good little run for first time out. I was pretty happy with it.
That's good. So bring home top 5. So then, I guess he decided he wanted to go over to Dillon this past weekend and run it. All right, so y'all go out there any Friday?
Mm-mm.
No,
No, sir.
so you didn't practice.
Well, we parked. That's it.
Yeah. So we got there Saturday morning ourselves, unloaded everything. Went through all the. I had to get back in the routine of going mountain tires and all that stuff.
Thankfully, we did have that mounted from a month.
Yeah, I was
ago.
going to say, y'all had them mounted already, which was great for me because there was no line over there. I just walked over there and, hey, let me get some tires. So, anyway, I got there in the first practice myself. Charger car was up first. I felt like, personally, I guess because I had ran all those about 75 laps, like I said, or I don't know, 60, 70 laps, whatever it was, that I ran Monday on them tires. I felt like tires were just shot on that. So I didn't feel much. I don't know. Just felt like I was sliding all over the place. First practice. What about you?
Yeah, I felt that way too, but I actually cut a decent lap, so I was pretty happy with it. We were second on the board there. So yeah, I felt like I was on old race tires, but it actually was able to wake up and run a couple good laps there. So felt like we were going to be okay at that point.
Cool. Well, then we got in the legend cars. Took them out for a round of practice, and I had no speed in mine the first round for some reason. I just felt tight in center, both ends. Just couldn't get off the corner. Didn't have no speed. So y'all took the 5 car back over there again. What'd you feel about it?
I thought it was actually pretty good. I was still learning, just seeing how the car reacts to different track and all. But all in all, I felt like it was pretty good. I didn't run a whole long time, but ran a pretty good lap there, so I was pretty happy with it. And felt at that point everything was going all right.
Well, this is the funny part. We got in probably a little over our heads too much this week.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see you with a legend car.
I was too. I wasn't. That wasn't my plan. It was just sitting there. It's like, oh, let's just take it. Won't worry about it too much. We'll just take it. Well, we didn't worry about it a whole lot, but it was just a lot of back and forth. You know how it is. You're used to it now. I'm not. So we went out second round practice and actually forgot to put air in the right side tires from measuring them up. So they still only had about, 14 pounds of air in the right sides. And it just felt like I was floating around out there at that point. I was like, what in the world? Figured it out as soon as I came in.
Yeah.
But this is where your day took a turn anyway. Go ahead and tell you, it didn't end up badly, but it took a rough turn there for a little while.
Yeah, we kind of the late model was kind of weirdly revving up at the corner, and I thought maybe I didn't really think, but we kind of hoped maybe it was just a weird tire spin off the corner or something. But went out for second practice, and you could tell the clutch was slipping pretty bad on it, and so we brought it in and we kind of debated on what we were going to do, and thankfully Chad had some clutch plates back at his house, so we started the process of changing it out, and it took us most of the afternoon up till races were starting pretty much.
Yeah.
So so we missed qualifying and everything with that.
Dang.
And it really kind of threw a loop in our whole weekend. I felt like our whole race day, but like we'll get on, it came back around.
It made it exciting for you.
I wouldn't say that.
It probably made it exciting to watch. I'll put it that way. So then we took the legend car back out second round of practice, and I picked up some. We made some adjustments first round. I picked up a little bit. Still felt like I had a little more. I think I was just, I don't know, just too much going on in my head between two cars when you're trying to do, I felt like I was trying to do a million things. I just had to kind of slow down and just focus on the thing I was doing then. So the driver was probably most of the problem the whole day for me. But nah, we come around a little bit. Ran all right our second practice. You go out second round?
No, I didn't. I felt like we were pretty good where we were at.
Yeah.
So, I figured, hey. And that was right after I found out our clutch was messing up, so we were all up under there. So, no, I didn't go out that practice.
Okay. So then we come up to qualifying. You did not get to qualify the Charger car. I went out there and qualified. Where did I qualify? I qualified 5th. Which obviously you weren't in it, but I didn't feel like I was too bad. I mean, I was like, hey, that's I'm in the top half of the field. I'm not too bad today. Every time I went out, I turned a better lap. So that's all I could really ask for. Yeah. Then I turned around in the legend car, and we had, what was there, 23 or something?
Let's see. 24 or something like
24?
that. I think they had at least 8 or 9 in the B main or whatever.
Yeah. There was a pile of cars. So they actually, there was, say, 24. I qualified ninth, which I didn't think was too shabby, for the crowd that was there. Was glad that they ran, I guess it was like a B main or whatever you want to call it. Did they transfer anybody? I don't think they did. It basically took from 15th on back, and they ran a separate race, which was really good.
Yeah, that was very good.
What we needed. Yeah. How was qualifying for you?
That's when
more downhill.
I felt like we were going to be cut a pretty good lap, but I went to the corner and just felt like the front brakes were just grabbing, just almost. They didn't lock up. It felt like how it would if it locked up. It just
pushed just a little bit more,
and it just took off towards the ball on me, and so that really threw me for a loop. So I didn't get a good lap at all. I was able to muster an okay lap. I think I got 12th or something, which was not. I feel like we could have been top 5 easily if we could have really got on it. But so yeah, that was unfortunate. So we were. It kind of put me. I was kind of worried now in the race because I don't want how my brakes are going to react.
Right.
Brake trouble is something I really hate. But out of nowhere.
Bad thing is I had brake problems too, but mine was the opposite. Mine wasn't locking, and they were working, but my brake pedal was hard as a brick. Still is. We tried to bleed them and everything else, and nothing's changing.
That's how mine in the mini stock was.
Did it do that? I think we're gonna have to look into a master cylinder or something. I don't know, but it just all of a sudden second round of practice, I noticed it was hard pedal. Hard. It was stopping, it was working, but I didn't trust it during qualifying for sure. So then we had an interesting first race there in the Challenger. So first, talk about yours. You had to come from the back there.
Yeah. Thankfully, we say we had 10 cars or so,
something
11 cars, but first couple laps just got held up terribly. Seeing whichever lane I picked, they were, and the 2 cars in front of me were riding side by side. And, I just couldn't. I was just completely boxed in. But finally got around them. Finally caught up to you and Matt. Was able to get around, and then we caught a caution there. So that put me up to 3rd, and was able to hang on there, which ended up being about where I thought we could have ran. I think the car was really, it wasn't that great, I don't think, but considering all that went on that day, that was pretty good to come out a top 3 and in one piece. You never know. Starting at the back of a Charger race in Dillon is one of the scariest things you can do, I believe. But we made it through, and so it was a pretty good result, I guess, for considering the circumstances.
And there was some excitement during the race because it happened right in front of me.
Right behind me.
Yeah, right. You had just got around good, hadn't you, I think, at that point? Or maybe been around for a little while. But anyway, I was running. I'm trying to remember how it played out. Wayne Locklear, sometime in the first of the race, something happened to the car. I don't know what happened to him. He stopped on the track. He does that and goes in and takes the hood off normally. But anyway, so he had to come from back. He had a really fast car. I mean, he'd fly through the field, then something would happen. Fly through the field, something would happen. Well, he got up there. He come back, and I saw him coming around me. I let him go. I was just like, hey, you're going faster than me right now. Go ahead. Well, he goes to pass Matt Winkler, and I'm right behind him, and he kind of dove the corner from what I could see, and I was kind of right behind him. So Matt really didn't have time to kind of move up, check up, nothing. They got together, which was, is racing, I guess, to an extent. But then he kind of just stood in the gas and drove him to the wall.
Yeah. I saw the video.
Oh, did you?
Well, the guy that's in turn 1 and 2. This usually live
Oh,
streams.
really?
Whatever.
I didn't see it.
I had to find it, but man, it was a harder hit than I realized. I mean, I realized it after when I saw the car, but man, I mean, it wasn't like he, just got spun out. He backed in the wall hard there.
Yeah, Chad said he thought he was going to hit the scoreboard above the wall.
He bounced up on top of it.
I just kind of, when I saw it happen, I pointed towards the bottom and hit the gas to get by it. I didn't see him hit. I saw him sideways and going up the track, but I didn't see him hit. So I hate that for Matt for sure. I feel like it could have, regardless of racing deal and them getting together, I don't feel like it had to go to that extent. By no means.
Not considering the circumstances, and
yeah,
he was probably going to be able to get around.
Yeah, I mean, he could
same corner probably.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You could have laid down, hit the brake a little bit and got to run off the corner and still passed him. I mean, it just seemed overkill for sure, and pretty much killed Matt's car. I mean, it's definitely rear clip,
rear end.
It said drove the motor back about 3 inches.
Yeah, it looked like it when I looked at it. Yeah.
So that stinks for him. Because he was actually.
Oh yeah, he had a pretty good run going.
That's what I was fixing to say. He was actually probably turning some of the best times he's turned around there. I mean, he's raced a year essentially. But that's the first racing he's ever done. So he was doing good. Hate that that's happened because that's going to back him up for a little while. So that stinks for him. So we had a restart, and something else happened back there in the field. I don't know what all went on back there. Then they end up a couple more restarts. Anyway, I know I just kind of settled in right there, ran fourth the rest of the time. Tried to keep up with you as best I could. That's literally all I was doing. I was trying to keep up with you.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up with the people in front of me too. So. But I think by the time I kind of come to the field and everything else, I definitely didn't have anything but a third place car. But like I said, both of us pretty solid.
I ain't gonna complain with it by no means. J.R. Moore drove our buddy Chad's car, brought it home second. Looked pretty strong. He looked good in it. He's a wheel man for sure. Oh, yeah. He can drive. I like JR. He's a cool guy. So I don't know. We'll be back with it. Terry, what's up, brother? Appreciate it. 200. Appreciate it there from the Bubba's About Broke podcast too. Appreciate y'all. It's been a lot of shows. For sure. So anyway, next we moved on to I went out there and rode around. We rode kids around in the car for a while.
My MSD box was going to take out of my car, so I couldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't do that right then. What was the deal with that?
I just took all three of them, said they were going to go through them.
Did they?
Yeah.
In tech?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Top 3.
I like it. I mean, it stinks for you.
It's fine.
Did y'all get it back already?
Not yet, but I'm sure it won't be too long. But.
No, I mean, but I appreciate a track.
Hey, try to look at something.
Looking, I mean, because I feel like, and this is the way I feel. Yes, I understand we can protest. I understand that, but I think it is also. If you look at what we made, say finish second, it costs you more to protest typically than what you would win. So nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to, really spend that money. And it's like, well, I'm not really gaining anything by doing it. Yeah, well, somebody might be illegal, but, you still lost your money most time. I mean, you ain't going to get back. And then after that, the person in second or whoever, it was, they're going to come back and...
You can get protested next
time. You're going to get protested. You can get motor tore down. It's going to cost you a pile of money to put motor back together. All this other stuff. So I appreciate the track, looking themselves sometimes because, keep it fair. Keep Keep everybody in check. But anyway, they had they have a annual... I don't remember what they call it, but basically we just ride kids around in the race cars. And so Matt's 2 girls, Allie and Kai there. They jumped in my car, and I rode them around. Kept having to get push started. My car wouldn't start after the race. I went to hit switch and G. I said, well, somebody pushed me in. So there's a good run. It was fine, though. I don't know. It's just one of them things. So rode them around. Then Landon got in
Yeah, I saw.
while we were going to park it, and I put it in about third gear and run it up with him in the passenger side, and he's like, "Whoo!" So, Buggy was up, brother. So that was fun. So then after all that, after intermission, kids bike race, I do want to hand it to the what's their name? Riverside Auto, the one that Wayne drives the car for.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, I
think it's Riverside Auto. But anyway, they gave away a bike to a child at raffled off, or not even raffled. They just gave them gave everybody, all the kids, a ticket, and I don't remember who won it, but anyway, what's 65 car? Street Stock.
Street Stock, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but
I can't remember right now either. I think his daughter won it.
Oh, cool deal.
So anyway, I do want to hand it to him for that because that's really cool. You know, doing stuff like that. So we went, and after that, Legends race. I started 9th. You started 12th. What'd you think?
Yeah. We before qualifying, we put a new left front tire on, so they kind of thought maybe that's what it was, and we bled the brakes, and but yeah, the problem was still there. So I was still like I had a good car, but you know, I tried it a couple times. I ended up on a choose cone, jumped up like 3 rows right there, and got up even in front of you for a second there, and then I went the corner and
top line backed up because I told Landon on that start after I got to the bottom, I was like, man, I should have took the top. I said there was
next 2 cars behind you.
Count, yeah.
I think you were even at that point, but the next 2 or 3 cars behind you, and then it got to me, and so I jumped up there, and but our brakes were still kind of locking up or just going real heavy front side, making it really hard to turn if I got in too hard, and I didn't want to wreck anybody because I was afraid, you know, you get in there under somebody and it slide up on them. But so I kind of ended up, once I lost some spots after I locked up there, I just kind of held position. If somebody made a mistake, I tried and get under them and race a little bit. But other than that, just kind of rode around where I was at and until we got to racing there at the end.
That's what I was fixing to say. So mine was pretty straightforward. Mine was I started 9th, got up a couple spots. Then on that start you were talking about, top line just something happened, didn't go. I think somebody went 3 wide, and I think Matt backed out. He said he wasn't going 3 wide. Daniel Humphrey's daughter, that's who it was. Appreciate it, Bucky. So I think I'd made up like 5th, maybe, there for a little while. Then Matt got rolling again, and his car was fast, and he got under me, and I think he got a little tight under me, and we kind of washed up track, and all of a sudden, here come everybody.
Yeah, it was a pack there.
Yeah, there wasn't no getting away. Well, then by the time I look at him here and I see Connor there, I said, we're going to race for this one. I had no clue what position we were in, but I knew there wasn't but a few laps to go. I said, let's race for this one. So we ran door to door for, I don't know how many laps.
2 or 3 laps.
2 or 3 laps.
I was just praying my brakes would stay with me. I didn't lock up and take us both out for 9th place or something.
I know. I was trying. I figured.
But yeah.
That was some of the most fun races.
Oh yeah, we were. It was fun. It was tight there. It was a good race.
It was tight. Race monitor said I got Connor by, what was it, 14 thousandths of a second. I don't even know. I don't know if it was that far.
My spotter said I won. Your spotter said you won. I have no idea. It had to be literally a dead heat.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Because I even said race monitor. I said, no, I was closer than that.
Yeah. But Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I got a little better out of 4 there, but you had the high side to kind of keep momentum there. And it was tight. I wish it'd have been for the win. It'd have been really, awesome. But
they'd have had to go to the video for
they'd
that.
have had to. But yeah, it was fun.
That was a lot of fun. That was it was. Yeah, I came in and your dad looked. He said, "What? How much were they paying for that spot?" I said, "A lot, a whole $10." I don't know. I don't even care. They ain't got to pay nothing. So we probably made the same exact thing. I imagine we did, but it was. I knew we were going to race for it.
Hey, it was fun. I was glad. Yeah. I did not want to go in there and wreck us both. And I know you left me some room, so that was good. But it was fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I felt like I had a pretty good car. Just couldn't charge the corner at all. And legend cars doesn't really reward you. Say a late model, you kind of back the corner up and then get on it off. Legends, you kind of got to drive it in hard to make lap time. So that was kind of a deficit. But I feel like we go back and get that fixed. I still feel like we had a good car. So that was good at least.
Oh yeah, I tell you, and you know it, that car, when I had it for whatever reason, it was just always, especially at Dillon, for whatever reason, it worked for me at Dillon a lot. So, I mean, I know all the legend cars are pretty daggone close, but I don't know. I always enjoyed driving that car over there for some reason. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully it'll work out for Matt there. I figure it will. There was some more drama throughout the night, though, involving same drivers. I don't know what happened up there, but I saw at one point in time that Wayne Locklear's had knocked the nose off the car.
Yeah, it was.
I think something I saw. I don't know what happened. Did you see what happened?
The first one?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened the first one though.
I don't have a clue.
By the time I looked up, he was already around, so I don't know there.
Well, they come in and they pulled the nose off the car, and did you see what happened the second one?
Second one, it really wasn't. I mean, that one wasn't really his fault.
I think Daniel
65 got turned by somebody, or 65. Anyway, somebody got turned sideways, and then they all just came in there and pile drived each other pretty much.
I think it was on Facebook. I saw Daniel put on Facebook. He said he broke a ball joint going in the corner. He failed it when it broke, and it spun the car. Or well, somebody was on him, and it spun him, and he wiped out a pile of them. So
that was very, very rough shoot. Was a pretty good race. It still was after that.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good race up to that point.
They put on a show for the lead up there a few times.
Late model race was also pretty good.
Yeah,
there. So it's a good night of race.
I don't know what it is. I feel like Dillon and Florence, we get actual better racing at night.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Just under the lights, I guess.
I guess so. I don't understand why. I don't know if track tightens up a little bit or we ain't quite as hot and feel like we can drive harder. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But when they race at night, it seems to be better racing for some reason. So it was fun. I was glad to be back at the track. Glad to actually get a race in at Dillon. That wasn't a
washout.
A washout for sure. Because that was this season has been rough for them. It is. Yeah, it has rained almost every weekend.
Yeah, hopefully their luck turns around with that.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, there's a lot more stuff to go in, but I want to think real quick. Our good friends over at SRI Performance, I'm going to tell you what, I've had a couple things that I've needed these past couple weeks for the big car, and made a call, and they sent stuff right out. Had it the next day. So, guys, head over to SRI Performance for anything you need. And another thing, they've been with us. This is our 200th episode, and they've been with us for almost all of them. They were our first company to step in and want to be on the show, and we just had a great relationship, and they've helped us get drivers on the shows. They've helped us get into some races, get us set up with media stuff, certain places and stuff like that. So they've been a great help for us. Can't thank them enough for, what they've done to help us out for sure. So y'all go help them out. Go over to sriperformance.com. Fill up that cart with everything you need. Put in that promo code CBONE10. That's C as in
chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys. They've been right there along with SRI, so with us. So y'all head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get everything you need for all your fab needs. Anything you got going on in your build wise. If you're going, put some cars back together. I seen one of the, I think it was Castrol Flow Racing Race Night in America, whatever it was. They tore up some dirt late models the other night. Yeah, so all them boys need some painted aluminum sheets. So head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum and get it. Skylar, I wish you could have seen it too, man. That'd have been cool to hear you call it.
It was. Chicken bone alley battle.
It was fun. Maybe we'll have some more. Maybe it'll be for the lead, though, next time. I just want to see how to call it. I won't even care. I just want to see how to call it. But anyway, guys, head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum for all your material needs that you could think of. Also, our good friends at ProFab Headers and Exhaust. Guys, there ain't none better out there. ProFab Headers and Exhaust. They are quality that wins. And their slogan is that for a reason, because you pretty much they're in victory lane every weekend, weekdays too. So y'all head over to ProFab Headers and Exhaust. Talk to our buddy Andy. Tell him we sent you. Same deal over at Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Got that fresh bullet under my hood. That's one thing I will say. Motors felt good.
Good deal.
So I feel like I am not lacking on power. I feel like I'm lacking on driver. Nah, we getting it close. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get some time on his chassis dyno once you get all that horsepower in there that you need. Find out what all the little tricks to get all the horsepower out of yours that you can get. So Earl Ramey Racing Engines for sure. Also, while we're here, and we're just talking to our buddy Skylar Whitfield, y'all go check him out this week. On down at Myrtle Beach in North Myrtle Beach all week long. June 4th, tomorrow, Wednesday, at the Boathouse in Myrtle Beach. June 5th at Duck Dive. That's with the band Route 65. In North Myrtle Beach. June 6th, Old Irish Pub, North Myrtle Beach. And June 7th, same place, Old Irish Pub, there in North Myrtle Beach. Y'all go check out our buddy Skylar Whitfield. Check out his website, skylarwhitfield.live, and you can find all the happenings. He's got his whole schedule up. This dude plays more than probably anybody I know. He is a busy man, that is for sure. But he's entertaining too. So not only will you love his music, and he's going to be doing the national anthem at Bowman Gray Stadium this Saturday. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He just told us that in the chat here, so that is awesome. I'm glad to hear you doing that. Maybe you think you can put in a word for me to sing the national anthem at Florence this weekend? I'll do it.
Just do it. I'm sure they're looking for somebody.
I'll do it. I'll sing.
Just walk up there and take the mic and
just grab it.
Yeah. Hey.
Make a call for me, Skylar. Tell Steve I'll do it. I got to talk with Steve about some stuff anyway. So y'all go check out our buddy Skylar Whitfield, and you'll definitely enjoy it. Go download his new album, Mason. You'll enjoy that also, for sure. Check it out on Spotify and all that good stuff. All right, so speaking of close finishes, I guess we had another one Saturday. But this one was for the lead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What is the deal this year, 2024, being the year for the closest finishes?
Oh, yeah. It's been a good year racing.
It has been. I mean, it really has been. As far as special battle for the lead in the big series and stuff like that. Cars Tour, they're at Langley this past Saturday night.
Kind of want to go back and watch the whole race. I haven't watched.
I do too. I've kind of watched the highlights.
I see some clips. You know, they look pretty good, so that's cool.
It was a good race. Our buddy Brennan Queen was he got up there and was leading a little bit, and can't remember where he was running, but something happened. Somebody hit him and broke his whole bumper bar, and it stuck. Did you see this highlight?
Mm-mm.
Well, the bumper bar stuck out, straight out the back. I can't remember. It might have been Brent Cruz. Was coming up behind him, but he was still like 3 feet behind him. He had no clue, but he hit the bumper bar that was stuck out, and it just like wedged on his nose, and it spun Brennan out. And didn't even hit his car necessarily.
Yeah,
but just hit.
There's also controversy about that because they said he was black flagged, and then he ended up spun out. You know, brought a caution out. So I don't know. Hey,
might have been a good thing.
Yeah, I was saying people were saying, you know, hey, that's no coincidence, but yeah, I don't know. I have to go back and watch for myself before I form an opinion on it.
I will too. I'm gonna have to do that. I like her buddy.
Oh yeah,
Brandon. He's a good guy for sure. You never know though. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Won't be the first time it's happened.
Sometimes you just gotta get that caution. Sometimes.
It's your arm or whatever.
Yeah. Is your arm itching? Yes. So, but anyway, come down to final restart. I think it was like green, white checker. I think it was, or
it was a few laps to go.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Either way, Connor Hall, I think, didn't he have the lead, or did Carson have the lead?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
They were all over.
I think Connor had the lead. They were back and forth there a couple laps. Anyway, regardless, they kind of pitched it in from what I saw, and slid each other and barely got clear and all this other stuff. And anyway, come down to Connor Hall, Carson Kvapil, and was it Brent Cruz? Yeah, Brent Cruz for the win. I can't remember what they said the margin was.
It was close, about as close as you'll see on a short track.
Yes, exactly. And like me and you were talking earlier, there was some controversy about who actually won even. But by scoring, Connor Hall squeaked it out over Brent Cruz, and then Carson Kvapil ended up third off of turn 4. So it definitely a close race.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a little track. That track's teeny.
Little tiny flat track.
I've never been to it, but I've run it on iRacing.
Oh, I hate it on iRacing.
I do too.
I'm terrible at it.
I am too. I overdrive the corners like crazy. I just go in there and I'm like halfway up the track. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to turn back there. 007 was the call on it. 7 1,000ths of a second. I'm glad we got listeners that know their facts. Yeah. I just saw the video. The video was awesome. So congratulations, Connor. No, for sure. He you said, I guess you saw it. He had some words for the fans and stuff over there.
I guess he was getting booed or whatever, and all, and kind of taunting them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's Butterbean's home track.
Sure, but it's his too.
I know.
Yeah,
but they love Butterbean.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
And so it's kind of, you got the nice guy or the rivalry going on up there, and I guess everybody, a lot of them anyway, tend to side on Butterbean's side. So I don't know. Hate it they didn't win, but I did hear that your track favorite can't win all the time. I did hear you kind of say that in an interview. I don't know. I think it's cool for the sport though.
Gotta have the bad guy on.
I like it.
Yep,
I like it. So that was cool to see for sure. I'm glad Matt said he's late, but he made it. Glad you made it. So I guess that's that for that. NASCAR, what'd you see this weekend?
To be honest, it's probably one of least watched for me.
Me too.
I probably watched the IndyCar race the most of anything.
Really?
Yeah, I watched a good bit of that.
That was Detroit?
Yes, sir.
Detroit.
Street circuit now. And it was rough. That track is narrow.
Bumpy.
Narrow and bumpy. So they'd go in there and spin out. And they had like 7 cautions in a row there for a while. They couldn't get a green flag lap in. But, yeah, I didn't watch hardly any NASCAR this week.
Well, we
I didn't
were
watch
at track
truck race at all.
No, that's what I was fixing to say. We was at track Saturday, and so didn't get to see nothing. We was there a long time Saturday too. I don't know, not as long. Y'all weren't there as long. You know, didn't come quite as early as we did. We was about to get ready to start practicing. I was like, "Where's Connor at? There's a trailer over there." And by the time I see y'all tearing everything down there, it's like, here to go. It's like, I guess y'all figured y'all didn't know. You don't have to mount tires.
No. Well, my dad was sleeping from the night before.
Oh, was he working?
Yeah.
I figured. That's why I told somebody. I said, Jamie probably had to work.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him. Get there late. Take a nap. I bet he really didn't like it when that clutch started messing up.
It's always the days when stuff goes bad, you know. But
so, anyway, Corey Heim won the truck race. Heard Ty Majeski kind of had the fastest truck. But I think something happened on a pit stop. I think it was, as usual. And Corey Heim took lead and won that. Shane Van Gisbergen brought home his first Xfinity win.
Cool. Saw a clip of him passing Allgaier for the win.
Yeah, they said that was a race there.
Oh, yeah. Xfinity,
dude,
everywhere is good.
It's always a race. Always a race. And I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, and even NASCAR, he was like, they're like, this dude's the burnout king.
Yeah,
he did a burnout almost the entire way around that road course. I was like, that's pretty sweet. He had no tires left by the time he got back around there. So that was. Did you see the new tradition he has started?
I don't think so. Unless where he rugby kicked him?
Yeah, they gave him a rugby ball, whatever. I guess that's just what you call it. He signs it, kicks it into the stands.
That's cool.
I
hope he wins off.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Something new. Where's got a high fence? I want to see how high he can kick this thing.
Kick it over the Daytona fence.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if you can make that. So that was pretty cool. All right. I do want to get back to a couple things because we haven't talked nothing about Indianapolis, all that stuff with Kyle Larson, all that good jazz. I want to get your thoughts on it. Kyle Larson goes to Indy. You know, he's fast. Had a great qualifying. Really fast all week. To me, looked pretty good in most of the race. Okay, but regardless, all that race obviously got held up because of rain. They decided to, and we'll get into all the waiver stuff in here in just a minute, but before that, they decided, I guess it was a whole team decision, even Rick Hendrick involved. Hey, you stay and run this race. We didn't put so much time, effort, money. You know, you've done all this. You stay and run this race. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hey, they've been there all month doing that. You know, hey, I was especially starting 5th. You know, hey, I agree with that. You know, go and run it and see what you can do because you don't know how many times you're gonna get that opportunity. You know, in a good ride and all. So I was glad they did that for sure. I wanted to see him do it.
I did too. I was glad that happened. I was actually just hoping it would just rain it out over there that day. And they ran it on Monday.
Yeah.
Just so, because I knew when it rained, I was like, oh, this is going, there's no way if they start this race, there's no way he's going to make the start of the 600. So I was just like, man, I wish they'd just say, hey, track's just too wet. But storms didn't last that long. So it is what it is. I mean, then I don't know. It was just what really stinks is, you know, they've had a film crew following him around for 8 months. They said in preparation for this. When he started right after the last race, when they started at Phoenix, when he tested that IndyCar over there, there was a film crew already with him. And they followed him around for all this stuff, you know, fittings and everything. Anytime they've been able to test anything, they've been there and going back and forth with cup stuff, and then it just culminates into a day that nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just nothing went right.
Yeah.
But I mean, they knew that going into it. I mean,
happen.
it's racing. I mean, weather happens for sure. So that kind of stinks for them. That's
I really hate it because I wanted to see it.
I did too.
done.
I did too. I wanted not only that. I wanted our buddy Tyler Munn, his spotter. He was going to be like one of the first spotters to do the double.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was flying with him back and forth. So he was going to jump in there and come. But NASCAR, because he didn't start the race, they told him he could not even come up on the tower.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, they say it's because of the roster deal now. Once they set the roster, that's who's on.
Yeah.
I'm like, unless there's like some kind of emergency. I'm like, so that stinks. Because I'd love to get Tyler back on here and talk about, all that back. I still want to get him on here and talk about, how everything went and all that stuff. So then they got to Charlotte. Kyle didn't even get to run the car at all.
Yeah.
I know it's a moot point, but did you see? I know it would have been super late. Super late. And they were talking about, it's just high humidity. We can't get the track back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Connor Denny Hamlin said he's like 15 minutes after we left, track was almost dry. He was like, when we come across it, it was dry.
And Memorial Day the next day. So
That's my
the
thing.
Fans could have stayed. Usually they say, the fans.
Yeah.
But, I wish it had been run.
I do too.
Especially, they didn't. It's not like they had the full 600 miles. I know it still would have been really late, but they were almost in the last stage, weren't they? They might have been.
Oh.
They had like 280 something laps now, and I know.
Yeah.
They
were a long way into it. Now obviously well over halfway.
and with this next gen car, Charlotte's like one of the mile and a half racing is some of the best racing all year.
But the first half of that race, it put on terrible racing.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't know if it was because people knew there was weather coming. They just wanted to make it to the rain. I think everybody thought it was going to start back. I think that's what everybody thought. It was just like, let's just make it there.
It was a typical 600 for a little while.
Right.
Kind of riding around. I didn't think the rain was, I never thought that they were racing to the rain really for most of it.
Right. And I think that's how they were. They knew it was going to rain.
Yeah,
they thought they were going to start back. So, I don't know. It was a mess. So, okay. All that happened. We got a couple pieces of big news last week. Well, this isn't even news yet, I don't guess. But as of now, to today, NASCAR has not granted Kyle Larson a waiver. Actually, in the points, it is shown that he has 0 playoff points. As of right now, he is not eligible for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because he did not start the Coca-Cola 600.
Well, he can still make the playoffs. He just
No.
not at all.
No. He can be if he does not get a waiver, he could be the regular season champion and not be in the playoffs.
Wow. Yeah, I don't
So
know.
where you stand on that?
I don't know. I understand the rule because you don't want drivers winning a race and then just, I'm in the playoffs and just go off and do it. I know that would happen, but I don't know. It's such a weird act because it wasn't planned that way. He's supposed to be there to start it. I don't know. That's such a weird spot. But you got to think that also the publicity helped him out a lot. So you don't want to punish him for that, but you also, if the rule's there.
What I hear. Now I obviously haven't. This isn't direct from anybody, but from what I hear, basically just NASCAR's top brass up there are upset with him because he kept on saying, and they had already told him, if something happens out of your control, like a flight, plane gets delayed or something, we'll push this race back even 30 minutes. But if something happens, like, a plane, some deal with it, we'll give you the waiver. As long as, everything's going and Well, when he knew the 500, because he said early that the 600 was his priority because of NASCAR. NASCAR was his priority. Well, from what I understand, NASCAR is upset because that changed, and NASCAR was no longer his priority.
I feel like
I feel like it's just emotional.
I feel like he'll eventually get a playoff waiver.
I think he's going to have to, because I'm going to tell you what, if you don't give him one, my thing is NASCAR said a few years ago when Matt Kenseth come and ran, I can't remember, he was running a very limited number of races, missed like 3 races. They said, "Oh, we'll give him a waiver to be in the playoffs because he won a race." It was like, okay, but the same exact thing has happened, and you're not going to give him a waiver. So it's that rule is the dumbest rule ever, in my opinion, because it's been like,
yeah,
you're just picking and choosing who gets this waiver. I mean,
yeah, it's so gray. Kyle Busch got hurt. He got one. Chase Elliott.
Okay.
Chase Elliott got hurt, not at a race, not at a NASCAR track. Though.
All right. Well, this is my thought on it. Okay. Something happened. You get hurt. Kyle Busch, in my opinion, was very deserving of the waiver. Yeah. Because he was in a NASCAR race when it happened. This is just going per the rule. If we're going per the rule, I don't think anybody that's ever been suspended should be granted a waiver, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If it's suspended far as like, let's say Chase Elliott. I like Chase Elliott. I do. But he got suspended for intentionally wrecking Denny Hamlin. Got suspended one race. In my opinion, he as a driver should not have been granted a waiver for that reason.
I don't know about
that's just me.
That's a waiver thing. I kind of like, because it was kind of a good story that Chase Elliott, he's still eligible for the playoffs.
Right.
You just got to make it.
I mean, yeah, it's a great story. Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think Larson shouldn't be disallowed from the playoffs. Maybe take away his he's got to win, so he's guaranteed into it right now. Maybe he's got to win again and be top 36 in points or whatever the rule is.
Yeah. See, this is my thought.
Like they kind of did Kyle there, but Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Now my thought is on it. Well, I found out I didn't know this, but it doesn't matter now. Because it used to be you had to be top 20 something in points at one point in time to make it, even if you had a win. Well, when the charter stuff came along, they took that away. That was in the charter deal.
Oh, really?
Now it doesn't matter where you are in points. You had to win, and you're in. My thought is, if you take away the win and you're in part of it, most people, let's say, because it's like you just said, they don't want somebody to come in and win a race and, I'm in the playoffs, I can sit out. Most people say if you take away the win and you're in, let's just use Austin Cindric, who won this week, as an example. Austin Cindric's had a terrible year. He's not in the top until this. He was not going to be in the playoffs. Until his win, he was not going to be in the playoffs. If you took away the win and you're in, he's still not in playoffs.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to really go out there and just, yes, you might have somebody like Kyle Larson who is up in points, well up in points. It's like, okay, if something happens, I can run to Indy. I'm going to lose points, but they don't want to. They want to win the regular season championship because it's such a boost for the playoffs. So that's my whole thing. I'm like, just take away the whole waiver system. Get rid of the waivers. Yeah. Forget the waivers. And then get rid of the win and you're in. I feel
like we're too far gone now.
Oh yeah, they probably are. I think they are too. But I just, man, I don't have a problem. I hope Austin Cindric's season from this point on turns around and he runs great the rest of the year. But let's say Daniel Suarez. Okay, he won Atlanta. How's he ran since?
Yeah,
terribly. He's terrible in points, technically, if you just took away that win. I feel like sometimes this winning you're in, especially at drafting tracks like Atlanta, Daytona, Talladega, you get these people in there, and the past, there's been quite a few years in a row. I mean, I'm not throwing shade at him, but it was Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon would come up and win Daytona, and he'd run terribly the rest of the season, and you knew right off the bat he was out of points or out of playoffs. So it's just, I don't know, it's just wasted spots in my opinion. When now, granted, there's other people that were down at the bottom of the playoff standings that didn't have wins, that got kicked out because of it.
Yeah, they were obviously running better than some of the people.
But that's my thing. Is I don't know. So I guess we'll continue to see the saga of what happens with the Kyle Larson playoff waiver. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, won't you thank our good friends over at Dixie Made, right here in Florence, South Carolina, right by the flea market. Go check out our friends at Dixie Made. They got all the top brands of apparel that you want, of any kind. Southern Fried Cotton, Simply Southern, and all their great brands, anything from head to toe that you want to wear. Go check them out. Check out everything on their Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. They post new stuff up all the time. Men's, women's, kids, from anything from hats to flip-flops in there. You never know. All kind of other stuff too. So head over and see our friends at Dixie Made. Also, Fresh Chef right there in Race City, USA, right around that area. There's so many locations up there. Go check them out. Some of the best food you'll ever find. For sure, is good stuff. Good stuff. Daily food and drink specials all the time. So go check them out, our friends up at Fresh Chef. Also, MPM Marketing. Head over to marketwithmpm.com. Go check out our friend Tanya over there. She's on top of her game for sure. If you want to move up in this racing world, you definitely got to get with a great marketing partner. And she is that great marketing partner. She knows the faces that you need to be in front of and everybody else in between. So go check out Tanya over there at MPM Marketing today. Also, our good friends at RevMax Racing Apparel. Connor's got a suit coming. Ready to see it? Oh, yeah. For sure. I just noticed this week, Rafe had a new suit. I guess he got it back at the first of the year, and it looks really good. Oh, yeah. His last one looked good, and his new one looks good from RevMax. Still love mine, for sure. So y'all head over to RevMax Racing Apparel. I'm ready for Connor to get his. I think he's going to love it. Should be here real soon. So head over to RevMax Racing Apparel. Anything from us guys that need multi-layer fire suits, SFI approved, to the guys in karting that don't need the SFI certification there, can have the single layer, cooler stuff. But I tell you what, and I know some people look at me all day, when I put mine on, even as it was warm out there this past Saturday, wasn't scorching hot by no means, but when I put mine on at the first of the day, I don't even take it down and tie it around my waist or nothing. It's just on for the rest of the day. I just keep it like that. And so that's what I'm saying. So I'm not overly hot in mine. It's very comfortable to wear all day long. So y'all head over to RevMax Racing Apparel and go get suited up. All right, something else come up that you may know a little more about. I don't know if what you've heard or not, but unfortunately, got the news last week. Stewart Haas Racing is shutting its doors. Yep. Did you see it coming?
Kind of. But it's just crazy. I mean, it's such a prominent team in NASCAR for so long. Hate it for those everybody there. I don't know what went wrong. I think Tony just didn't really care to mess with that much, and I don't know.
I wonder because Gene Haas has been in it. That Gene Haas has been, he had team before Tony come in with him, and he's not quitting the F1 side. Yeah, he said that's there to stay. Really weird. Yeah. Weird timing in my opinion. Kevin Harvick probably said it best. He said on his podcast, he said, in 6 months' time, they went from forever to forward to for sale.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, they had rebranded and everything.
Yeah, I mean, they changed color.
And I mean, it kind of looked to be turning,
Noah's had some really
Noah
good
and
runs.
Josh Berry's been running good. The other two, not so much, but
Chase had some spurts.
that's better than we're at. I mean, they have
Yeah.
two cars that are decent, and I don't know. Yeah, that's I thought maybe a downsize or something, but when I started hearing rumors that they were pretty much going to be closing down, it's such a shame.
Now, y'all have got some friends that work, or a friend
Yeah.
that works there. Has your dad talked to him?
Yeah, he's looking around
Looking for
other
a
teams.
job.
Yeah, thankfully he's been with several teams before.
Right.
He's well known in the area, so I think he'll be able to find somewhere. But man, that's a lot of workers there that's got to find somewhere.
I think I heard it's 300 and some odd
And
people.
I've walked around that shop, but it's pretty big. So that's yeah. Hate at any time a team closes down, but especially a 4-car operation like that.
That's crazy to me. I hear, and I'm wondering if it's something. I don't know. It's just odd timing, and the reason I say it's odd timing because this whole charter deal coming up, and I feel like that's something that they're upset with, maybe or something. I don't know. I mean, none of us know, other than Tony Stewart and Gene Haas. I reckon maybe some top dogs over there, but I guess I feel like because the charter deal not being done right now, I feel like it's going to bring
get some money while they
well,
can
I felt like it would bring the value down right now because if they keep on and there's no deal done, then the charters aren't worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if all of a sudden, you're getting more of a revenue share, all this other stuff, well, it's going to bring the value up. So I just felt like it was an odd time for them to.
It looked like they were just done with it and ready to get.
That's
Get out
exactly
no
what
matter
it
what.
looked like. It was just like let's just go. But I've heard. Don't quote me on this, but I did hear. Well, I think Denny Hamlin even talked about this, so it's not that NASCAR wants on their side of the agreement right now. They don't want any team to own any more than 3 charters.
Yeah. So other than the couple that are grandfathered in, as they say.
But I think they'll have to, because just like they did Roush back in the day, used to Roush would have 6, and on certain occasions have 7 cars on the track on any given weekend. They made them downsize to 4 cars. Then it went way down from there.
Mm-hmm.
But, they had the biggest team out there. I get the grandfathering in to some extent, but can you really do that? I mean, I guess they can do whatever they want. I mean, but I feel like you're just that's going to be something teams are going to look at and that's not fair. I mean, they're going to sit there and say, well, Hendricks got 4, Gibbs got 4, and we can only have 3.
Yeah.
We can never have more than that. I mean, obviously, there's always ways around it.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say you can't. If you set the limit at 4, you got to keep it there,
Right.
unless you don't have any. If they had everybody already at 3, then that'd be fine. But being they got a couple sitting at 4, obviously they're not going to make them downsize, but they I don't know.
Well, the thing is, and I guess this is the different thing that we have hard time thinking about. They're not telling them necessarily, from what I gather, that they can't have 4 teams.
Yeah, it's 4 charters.
They just can't have 4 charters is what they want. I'm not necessarily mad at that to an extent.
Yeah, they don't want somebody controlling all. That's a lot of assets there.
A lot. And this year, an example, up until past few weeks, pretty much Gibbs and Hendrick have won everything. So I don't know. I would hate to see, let's say, Hendrick. I've always liked Hendrick. I like Rick Hendrick. I've met him, and that's why I like him. I mean, I've met him, and he was super cool, super nice to me. So I like Kendrick. I know, obviously, probably a lot of people know that by now. I would hate for them to come in and just say, "Hey, you can only have 3.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sell one, or you got to give one up." They'd have to do something, to say, "All right, somebody's got to give them this amount for it." They'd have to set a price.
One that saves them is, outside of a couple racetracks, you don't have to worry about not making the field.
Right, exactly.
Other than Daytona, Charlotte sometimes.
But that car's going to be harder to sell sponsorship for because a non-chartered car does not make as much money as a chartered car.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to have a tough time selling sponsorship for a fourth car that's without a charter because you're not guaranteed anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Only good thing is it looks like the charters might be getting spread around a little bit. I saw Front Row's buying one.
Front Row is getting one. They've already announced
I think
they're getting another car. They didn't say they were buying one from them, but I mean it's pretty obvious.
Get it from, I think 2311 is looking to get one, and
there's 2 more. And
who was it? Spire or was it
Well, Spire has to get one. Ain't it Spire or is it Colleague? Colleague has to get one. Who is it? Who's on loan? Somebody's on loan somewhere at one team.
I don't know. Let's see. Spire's got
Hocevar and
Zane Smith.
Zane Smith is on loan.
Zane Smith was a Ford driver, wasn't he?
Zane Smith's on loan from Colleague? Or
Zane was a Ford guy, wasn't he?
Was. He's kind of in Chevy.
Okay.
But they kind of got it. They worked a deal, and he's like basically a loaned out driver right now. So, but they got Corey also. But Michael McDowell's going to Spire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 3 that's going to be there. Corey. Corey.
Had Todd.
Zane's
Zane's going to take over in the 38?
No. Well, I don't know who's taking over 38. I kind of hear Josh is going 38. That's what I hear, but I also hear Noah. That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
But I got a
That's going to be interesting.
I got a feeling it's Chase.
I think they said Chase was going. Oh, man.
I feel like he's more entrenched in the Ford stuff.
Yeah, it was a Ford team. Might have been. I can't remember where it was. It might have been the Front Row Motorsports. I don't remember. I remember.
Well, they're adding one.
He was rumored somewhere.
Well, obviously they got to open one from McDowell leaving, and they're adding one. So
it's going to be interesting. They got 4 drivers now that are race for top teams looking for a new ride.
Or was it Zane that's on loan from Front Row?
That's probably it because Zane did drive for Front Row for a couple races.
That's probably it.
Anyway,
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm just wondering where Josh Berry, Noah Gragson are going to land.
Those 2 are going to get the better end of the deal, I'm sure.
There's a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of no's, but there's a lot of yes. There's a lot of.
It's going to all come down to who gets the charters and who's got the open.
I feel like we know. Look, everybody knows that he has been very open about it. Dale Jr. has wanted a charter. He wants to be cup racing for years. He said he should have, obviously he should have bought one when it was $6 million. That's what he said. He said, I was stupid not to. But, whatever. He has also said that now, being as, about $30 million is what they're saying is one charter from Stewart Haas is going to go for. Each one, $30 million. So, I've seen some things. I don't know any of it by no means. I mean, we've all seen the rumors, and this is just all rumors. I mean, none of this is verified by no means, I promise you. It's all rumors. There's still rumor going around. There's still one going around that even though they're closing Stewart Haas, they're saying Tony may not actually be leaving NASCAR. That some people have said he may still take one of them charters.
Yeah.
And go in with Junior.
Really? I've heard that Gene wants to keep a charter, though.
Really?
That Gene wanted to keep one charter and run something. But
Well, maybe so. I don't know.
There's no telling. Yes, they all just have to see what happens.
This is crazy. I mean, it's all rumor mill, and that's all we'll. I don't know. I know what I'd like to see. I'd love to see Junior Motorsports get.
Oh yeah.
If they've talked about something about bringing back DEI is what they said, but I don't think that will ever happen. But I do know. This was official that Dale Jr. just trademarked.
Yeah, he's trademarked
the 8, the one they used at DEI. He got the trademark. Teresa kept it for years and wouldn't let him have it. She kept trademark up on it. Well, she let it run out and let him get it. So obviously Kyle Busch runs the 8 right now. I think it's more for merchandise sales.
It's that font and all.
Right.
That 8 font, you know.
Right. But I think it's more for that way he can sell because he's claimed it. I guess they claimed that he's got a pile of old merchandise, but because of those trademarks, he couldn't sell it. I don't know. I guess he can go back and print stuff with it on there, and because I think there was even something about his late model cars. He couldn't run the exact font.
Oh yeah, you can tell they're not.
Yeah, it's not the same, but he couldn't run the exact font because of the trademark.
That's so dumb.
It is. It is very dumb. And Teresa has, I'll say it, she has done some dumb stuff, in my opinion, to Dale's boys. I was not a Dale Earnhardt fan personally. I know that might be blasphemous to a lot of you people, but I was not a Dale Earnhardt fan personally. But she wouldn't let Junior do anything with the 8. She wouldn't let Kerry use his own name, or didn't want him to use his own name, because there was something with a Earnhardt series of mobile homes. She did not want him to use the Earnhardt name on it. And basically they went to court over it, and neither one of them won, is what it come down to, but basically they just said you could not trademark a name.
Wow.
It was just petty stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I know that's out there right now. But I'm interested to see what happens with. I think there's one chart, but also like they were talking about, if just thought here. Say they did go through with this 3 charter stuff. I feel like Dale Jr.'s in the door enough in the Hendrick camp.
Yeah, he could. You know,
the it's under Junior Motorsports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's still
same thing, kind of 2311 racing.
Exactly. So I don't know. I feel like there's something that could happen there, and I'm wondering if that's what he's waiting on. If he knows something's going to come up there, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see.
I just feel like
really a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
There's a lot going on right now.
I think
a lot of is going around this whole charter deal, which they claim is getting close to being done. So I don't know.
We'll have to see.
I don't know. It's dramatic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, anyway, so Austin Cindric won the race, Cup race.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, your boy Busch. What'd you think?
It's just been a rough year. I think he was fighting hard to try to stay up. You know, hang on there at the end stage, and he pinched him down a little bit, and Larson got loose, and just a rough deal, just a rough year.
It was, and I think he got mad at him because Kyle did come up out of the corner, and I don't know if he was trying to side draft. I don't know if he was, because if you look at that corner, those ends of those tracks are not shaped the same. It's like Darlington, but flatter. But beyond that, the way the safer barrier is coming out of 4 kind of juts out into the track and goes back. So I don't know if Larson got a little tight under him or whatever happened. They touched. Busch, to me, it looked like he got a little upset about the touch.
Probably so.
And
I think
he definitely
frustrated trying to make something out of nothing, because RCR just hasn't had any speed anywhere, really.
He looks to me, and he doesn't have quite the attitude he had, I guess. But man, he gives off that vibe of like the year he left Gibbs.
Yeah. Hey, I really wanted it to work out, but I hope he, as a Kyle Busch fan, I hope he finds somewhere else to go. I mean, you look at how Austin Dillon runs every week. He's nowhere to be found, really. Except, I guess he backed into a top 10 this week, but I don't know. I just feel like they're so hot and cold. They got a couple tracks they can run good at, but when they don't, they're terrible.
Do you think it's a well? You're right. RCR has not ran good.
I think that, and I think the new car has.
That's what I was
Kyle
say.
for a little bit of a loop.
But he won.
But he won a couple races last year.
3 races,
yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah. And when he drove Gibbs the first year of it, he didn't win as much. But he had several times where he was leading the Gateway. He almost won the 600. He still was up there. He might not be as dominant as he was previous generation, but I don't think he's that bad. But something's definitely off.
Could you see him going to 2311?
There. Yeah, I hope so. I don't know if he's burned too many bridges with the Gibbs.
I was wondering. No.
I want to see him drive the 48. I mean, to be honest with you, but I don't know.
That'd be nice.
I don't know if that happened or not.
I heard they were on good terms now.
I think he could. He'd probably take a little pay cut because I don't think outside maybe Chase Elliott, they're paid a good amount, but not what I doubt.
Nobody's making outside the Jeff Gordon salaries outside and Jimmy Johnson salaries.
Kyle Hamlin, maybe Truex, and a couple of others, but most of the younger ones were getting paid a lot less.
Yeah,
but maybe
it's ridiculous.
Maybe he'd take a pay cut to run good. But we'll see.
I could still see him because he's got the Spire ties, but man, I'd hate to see him go to Spire.
Spire, yeah. I don't know. I like to see him at like RFK or somewhere, but I don't know.
Well, that's actually where he got his first contract at was Roush.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to see him Trackhouse somewhere. I really wanted. I like RCR. I do. I wanted it.
Oh, I do too.
And I still think they still. I mean, they had a good first year, and they still. I don't know. It just seems they just can't. They need a lot of good luck to go their way for things to go right.
My thing is though, is like we know Kyle Busch is a good driver, probably one of the best ever been on track. If he can't make it good, something's off.
And he's not one to really. Hey, I'm gonna bring it home 15th. You see him usually when he starts to fall and can't keep up. He
is the epitome of checkers or records.
Yeah, he's gonna drive.
He's like, I'd rather wreck.
And it worked a lot, but when you just ain't got the speed, you just ain't got it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh well, what we got going on this week? What you do up to?
Not a whole lot. Just get some race cars ready and see what happens.
Florence Motor Speedway Saturday. You gonna run anything?
I probably won't. I don't know for sure yet either way, but I'd say I doubt it. But
Legend cars are off over there till August, I think it is, or end of August, I guess. With the whole big deal, the Southern Showdown.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about it when it gets a little closer. We'll get Brian Voss or Steve Zacharias on here and talk about it a little closer. I'm probably not going to run it myself,
no,
but it'll be an exciting show.
I might run Sunday after everybody's already wrecked.
There you go. Let me just get in the last one. I don't blame you there. So that'll be cool. But there is racing this weekend, Florence Motor Speedway. Come on out. Full field of cars for sure, other than Legends and Bandoleros. They take off.
Bandos needed a break after.
Yeah. They take off because of the summer shootout stuff starting up in Charlotte. Because a lot of those guys being in point stuff, they try not to. Because there's a lot of them that would come run Saturday, then turn around and run a couple days during the week, and they try to give them a little break so they ain't got to do all that. Because if somebody's running for points, they're going to go run for points. I was like, hey, let's just run for no points. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Let's just race. Guess Ham won't do that.
Yeah.
Unless Matt talks him into it. Go ahead, Matt. Talk him into it. Anyway. So, I'll be out there, though, Saturday. Go out there and hang out. See our buddy Terry Radford out there announcing at Florence Motor Speedway this weekend. I got some cool stuff I got to talk to Steve about. Get happening. But anyway, so we'll be back. Hopefully, well, I know we'll be back with the Legend car at least at Dillon next week, next weekend. I hope to have the rear end back.
Oh, okay. Yep.
All this back, we'll be back with the Charger car, and he said he's tried. As long as it's back, rear end's back, we'll be back at at Dillon. We're just gonna run Dillon for a little while with the late model big car there. Just till we kind of get it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say figured out, but get a handle on it at least. Just because the rules are,
just a little bit
different enough. There's a lot to change, or can be a lot to change. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, guys, I guess that's about it for our 200th episode. So appreciate all y'all hanging out with us for 200 episodes. It's been cool for sure. Have a bunch more to come, I reckon. Hopefully we'll have some cool stuff. I know I've talked about it forever about a new studio. I'm about to go show Connor a little bit of it now.
Cool deal.
I'm hoping we're gonna be in there here now. I've said a couple weeks for I don't know how long, but hopefully it's really
getting close.
Really, really close. Really, really, really close. Waiting on one last thing. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it, man. Waiting on one last thing, air conditioning.
Yeah, I think we need that now.
It's supposed to be put in any time. Waiting on him. Waiting on Buddy to come put it in. So anyway, guys, thank all y'all for hanging out with us. But I guess we will see y'all next time.
Later.